too. Knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. Yeah, baby. Happy Monday, Nasties. How you doing? It's 1:02 Monday afternoon. It's hot, windy, and it's game day. Game 3, baby. Oilers, Panthers from the Sunshine State. 6 o'clock. We're all over it here on Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, presented by Play Alberta. This is EST Afternoons, coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. Twalk, Zach, Salas here with you as we'll tee up this big game. Lots to get to, some possible lineup juggling due to Nuge being a game time decision. We saw the pairings get switched up. Will he stick with it? I don't know. Knob is kind of always playing mind games, right? So we'll look into all of it, of course. Of course. Elks recap, tough loss for the green and gold on Saturday in BC. Yeah, we'll do inside the numbers, and we'll just go around the world of sports as it's a great day. It's always a great day when the Oilers play. So are you going down to Boston Pizza Westgate to hang out with Tom Gazzola? He'll be there for pre and post game. Tonight should be fun. Excited to see Tony, the manager there, who's... his first words to me are always something negative about Bush. Not even a hello.
No, really?
Yeah. But so we'll see what happens. Like always, hit us up, River Korean Box 780-218-9999. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. It is game day, so we should be at 150 thumbs up. No problemo. No problemo. And if you're listening, iHeart, TuneIn Radio apps, and EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just slide on over and slam that thumbs up. Walk, my man, how you doing this fine Monday afternoon?
Good, man. Good. Like I said, got some work around the house done on the weekend.
Nice.
My my boy, unfortunately, he's a jury. He's in the case today.
Oh, that's right.
So, real funny, real quickly, he. So when he went in to get for the initial to see if he was going to take part, I neglected to get the letter in time. I didn't neglect. I didn't know he had a letter for a jury summons. Like he was living away from home at the time, so I didn't open his mail. Then this is like a summons or something. So I got a little worried, opened it up, and he had to submit reasons why he didn't want to do it if he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So we didn't get that in on time. So he went in and he had his letter, but it wasn't registered. So I guess it's a room of like 100 people. And so he was the first one called up, and they asked him, is there any reason why you shouldn't be, you would be excluded from jury duty? And he goes, I really can't think of one. No, I don't have anything. And then he goes and sits down, and every other person proceeds to say, I have a personal connection with this case. I have a personal connection with this case. So if he was number 2, he would have said, I have a personal connection. But he was picked. And then I guess the lawyer goes, you have a criminal record? He goes, no. He goes, yeah, you're in.
But how can everybody say the same thing?
That's what I said, but that's what they say. And then as soon as they say that, they're out. So
I just don't want to, sir.
Yeah, so he's doing the duty. Daughter's got provincial dance championships tonight.
A lot of dance, eh?
A lot of dance.
Is there like an off season?
No, not that I am aware of. It's 365. This stuff.
Hey, you made some ribs.
Yeah, I tried that out. Brought in an air fryer.
Yeah,
because my son had the good air fryer.
Yeah,
so I swapped it out and brought the new one in.
Nice.
And went by our good friends at Friesen Brothers. Pork ribs, really cheap today. Big rack for like $10.
Ribs are awesome.
Yeah,
love ribs. Love ribs. Zachary, how was your weekend, sir?
Busy. It was a good one. I spoke a bit about it on the Hangout. I know you're just asking for a good
Why were you on
answer.
The Hangout?
I was on the Hangout because they couldn't get anybody else. Not kidding.
Don't tell
No, because Maddie asked me there. But I watched the game, had some troubles because my Rogers was cutting out a little bit, but we got through it. I was sweating a bit, but we watched the full game, and it was a good weekend.
Nice. Big UFC match. The Irish guy got choked out.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley got choked out by a ninja choke.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was,
Marab's,
good time.
like I was telling Zach before he went on air, because I watched the main event on my laptop while I had the Elks fourth quarter on, and Marab is like, to fight that guy, you got to be crazy, because that guy is nonstop, Gage. Like, he does not stop. He just comes at you and at you. Like, the guy's never tired, man.
Yeah, and he sacrificed a lot. Like, he started as a construction worker. He thought that he would never be in the UFC fighting what he does today. He's so grateful as well. Like, you see his post-game or post-fight, I guess you could should say, interview, and he's just so humble, man. He's like, I never smoke cigarettes. I can never smoke cigarettes. It's so bad for you. I eat good, yada, yada. But no, he worked hard for
He won,
that
jumped
big
out
time.
of the cage and hugged Donald Trump.
Trump was there?
It was in
The
New
whole-
Jersey.
It was very bizarre. I was like, okay, let's go.
From Georgia, hey?
Yeah, I became a U.S. citizen last year, though.
Oh, maybe that's how he got his citizenship.
He was he's an animal, man. I'm not into as much UFC as I used to be, but I don't know if anyone, like, I think on the broadcast they were saying, I don't know who fights this guy.
Oh, yeah,
Sean
he's going
O'Malley
up the ranking
from
big time.
Ireland, or is he?
He's an American. Yeah, he's from Arizona, lives out
But,
there.
Okay.
But of course, O'Malley last name. But yeah, Marab's not a finisher either, and he got the submission. So it was a big win for him.
Quite the finish. He ended up like on his back. Crazy.
Yeah,
Really?
and Kayla Harrison also defeated Juliana Pena to keep her title as well. And now Amanda Nunes is supposed to be stepping out of retirement. She retired after UFC 280.
right.
Yeah, I saw
a couple years back.
I saw they did the face off. All right. Is anyone still listening? Yeah, that's our
Game three's today,
That's our
right?
UFC segment for the month of June.
For the year.
For the year, yeah. No, it was a fun fight, man.
I mean, that's a big ticket though.
Oh, 100%. I know there's a lot of people that love UFC, so we'll do a lot more once we jump into the NHL offseason.
Yeah.
So let's go. Nuge, game time decision. Skinner, I guess, went pretty hard today in the morning skate. We might hear from him later. We will hear from Evander Kane. If Nuge can't go tonight, how concerned are you?
Very.
Okay. Show your work.
So, well, do you want to get into the last game at all, or are we done with that? I guess you talked about it on the post-game show. So,
I mean, listen, Joaquin, people were freaking out like they always do. That's two great teams going toe-to-toe, man. Like, seriously. Like, the Oilers weren't going to sweep this. Like, let's be honest. A bad play by Bouchard at the offensive blue line, a bad read. The little bugger sneaks in behind, and that guy's clutch, man. Brad Marchand, you can hate him all you want, but like, he's as clutch as they come. Even though the goalies gave up 5 and 4, I thought both goalies made some huge saves, Joaquin. Again, this is a clash of titans, man, and either game could have went either way, man. Like, this is where we're at.
It's either team could be up 2-0 right now.
Oh, 100%.
Right. So, the only thing that after I completely forgot that I was actually doing the post game show with you talking about.
Oh yeah, you were on it.
I was like, what?
Seems like so long ago.
I know. But after a little reflection over the weekend, I feel that because 2 games gives you a better idea. I think of the Florida Panthers too, watching them on a more consistent basis. Like their game, it's so consistent. Right? There's their high and low levels are the depth at this point is so shallow. Like they're always going to play good. Now, I do think the Edmonton Oilers have the capabilities of playing at a higher level.
Oh, 100%.
But I think their lower level their lower level is a lot lower than the
Florida
Panthers
yeah.
lower level, right? So their level of consistency has to be higher than the Florida Panthers to win this series, I think.
Yeah, and I said it on post game. I thought Edmonton was slightly better in game 1. I thought Florida was slightly better in game 2. Because if you look at that third period on Friday night, Joaquin, the Florida Panthers, they locked it down for 19 minutes.
Yep.
And then Corey Perry,
unreal goal,
tied up, still gets the strength and is able to beat Bobrovsky. But again, it's for the people freaking out, like this is the series. I mean, most people anticipated back and forth. There's going to be lulls. Now, I will say Bush in the first 2 games has looked not as good as he did in the previous 2 series. Again, I'm not saying he's been terrible, but he's being caught puck watching at times. There's a little bit of turnovers there. Joaquin, they went with Nurse and Bouchard yesterday in practice. Again, I don't know if that's going to stick, but Knobloch doesn't miss with his decisions in the playoffs, but all the numbers, whether you're an analytics guy or not, this pairing does not work.
It hasn't.
No.
And Ekholm and Klingberg haven't played together yet, have they?
That's the other thing, right?
So, I mean, you got 2 Swedes. They've probably played together at some point in their lives.
But I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about Nurse Bush.
Okay.
But I do think it's a smokescreen.
Yeah, you think it's just going to go back?
Yeah.
And getting back to your question about Nuge, the reason why is just, again, that consistency level. Now you're asking for, if he's not in the lineup, they already had a hole that everyone needs to step their game up to fill the Hyman gap. But now if Nuge isn't there, that's another area where the Oilers are going to fill that hole. And yeah, it gives me a little bit of pause now with just seeing the hunger and desire of the Florida Panthers. Not that I thought they wouldn't try or anything, but I just thought, okay, second game going up again, but they just kept pounding and pounding and pounding. They're a juggernaut. The Oilers are too. It's impossible to say who is going to win this game with any type of certainty, even without Nuge, which is a good thing, right? But I think you'd have to, if Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is not in the lineup, I think you have to favor the Panthers by a little bit, just because of such a versatile player.
The Oilers have been really good on the road.
Yeah.
Florida's kind of mediocre at home in these playoffs.
Bennett doesn't score at home, so that's good.
Yeah, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So, like you said, it's really tough to pick what's going to happen. It's probably going to be another 1-goal game. Who the hell knows? It's that slim margins here for this game. Defensively, it was Nurse with Bouchard, Ekholm with Klingberg, Kulak with Wallman. Again, I think it's a smokescreen. They might start that way, but it's kind of risky with that Nurse Bouchard. They had Skinner with McDavid and Perry, Kane, Draisaitl, Kapanen, Henrique, Brown, Frederick, then Janmark, Arvids, and Podkolzin. If Nuge can't go, I can't see Skinner starting on the top line. I think they might go nuclear to start.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what the lines. But we'll probably find out lines about 5:35-ish, 5:40-ish when they hit the ice in Florida for the warm-up. So we'll see what happens. I know the Florida Panthers has been confirmed. They'll get A.J. Greer back. Jesper Boakfest will come out. I think that's an upgrade. A.J. Greer's got some jam. He's feisty.
Yeah.
He scored some goals. No, yeah, exactly. It's not what you want, but it's going to be a battle tonight, man. I can't wait. The Florida crowd, I know it's not a hockey city, but they show up. They were great last year.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of Oiler jerseys in that stand.
Oh, 100%.
Compared to here.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a game. Maybe they didn't even know there was a game. DJ Khaled is going to be down there.
Maybe they just thought it was a concert.
Yeah, exactly, right?
DJ Khaled, eh?
Yeah.
They did that last year, too.
We say his name a lot in his songs.
Yeah, he's annoying. He's because he doesn't sing or rap. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his name.
Yeah, I know. No, but I mean, like he puts out music, but it's not like he's the one.
It's always featuring DJ Khaled.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Hey, 36 thumbs up. Let's go. It's game day. What are you feeling tonight? Are you feeling an Oilers win? Gager, if I think we'd both be in the same boat. If someone asked us what you think tonight, I'd be like, I have no idea. I know it's going to be like game 2.
So do you I really think the Panthers turned the volume up on the dark arts and physical play in that first period, I think. In game 2, would you say? Or was it the same? I thought it was a little more aggressive on their part.
That first period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oilers have to find a way to initiate and not retaliate, because it seems like Florida initiates a lot of the stuff, right? They're first in there. Not that the Oilers don't respond, but I'd like to see, maybe some getting under the skin of the other opposing team, because obviously they did it with Bouchard, right? They were able to draw 2 penalties out of him that were undisciplined. Like both times, it was the ref let the first one go on both his penalties, and he did it again and got called for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get your maybe an ounce of flesh, not a full pound, but you can't keep at it or they're gonna give you a penalty.
Yeah.
Right? So
I want to see more from Trent Frederic.
oh yeah.
Seriously, he has not been good. He's not the Boston Trent Frederic. And there's rumors circulating from credible sources that they're working on an extension. Sure, I don't mind the player.
Oh, get him on. Yeah, all aboard, man. You need that.
Better be cheap, though. Well, not too cheap. But you know what I mean. I like Trent. Like, the Trent Frederic I used to see in Boston, that's the guy I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think he's still just banged up? Like
He might be.
It's that high ankle sprain, man. It doesn't.
Dusty's eating your ribs.
Is he?
Shocking. And he likes it.
Those are tofu ribs. Yeah. That's tofu that you're eating. Yeah, it is.
You're lying to me.
Yeah, you like it?
You're lying.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's too funny.
Dusty, breaking news. Dusty likes tofu.
Oh, boy. Statue Boss comment says, feel free to throw a hit. He wants to see more from Connor Brown. EMG says, I saw Trent go at Kachuk and a bit after a scrum last game. Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
but you need more.
Yeah.
You need more.
But initiation. Like, he needs to go and, get in Barkov's face. Make someone have to pull him out of the pile on the other team, right?
Yeah.
And, you got to get Kachuk does something that I think is great, but when he gets in the scrums, he holds his stick in one hand and puts that glove and kind of hits guys with his stick too. I played with guys that would grab the blade of their stick and and just be like shaving.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Max Bezuzo, DJ Khaled isn't a DJ either. He's more of a project manager.
Whatever.
And then let's get this one on the River Korean Bucks. T-Mac says, did you prep your son by watching the Pauly Shore Classic? Jury, dude.
I thought that exact same thing. No, I told you. We just watched OJ.
And then Troll, is this Troll? Yeah, he says, the crowd tonight will be such a letdown energy-wise compared to Edmonton. Well, yeah, that's completely different. Like, we're talking two different animals here.
Yeah. No.
Hockey.
I mean, I watched a thing, a Panthers fan flew up for the games and said, if there's a game 7, I'm coming back for sure. Because he couldn't believe the atmosphere.
That's crazy. Boys, said it this morning. We'll say it again. I guarantee a win tonight and not in OT from CB Radio Guy. Ooh. Interesting. I like it. Bold prediction. Yeah, let's hope they can pull this one off, because then you're playing with a little bit of house money there going into the game on Thursday. Remember, it's a 2-day break after this one.
There's 2 days after this one? Again.
Yeah. I don't know why, because they're in Florida. Could be the arena's booked on Wednesday or something like that, right?
DJ Khaled.
Yeah. How do we think the ice will be? Probably not as good as Edmonton.
Doesn't matter.
But it's bad for both teams.
Both teams play on it.
Yeah.
So then, if that's the case, the way that both teams play, it's quite simple. Probably one of the reasons why Florida, they're highly skilled, though. They're making really solid plays. So you can't say it's all the ice, but both teams have to play on it. Keep things simple. Don't look for that extra pass, especially in the latter stages of the periods, for sure, because it's going to get chewed up.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's no excuses. Both teams have to play on this ice. The officials will probably be terrible for both teams, like they have been throughout these playoffs. So it's going to be crazy. NBA is Wednesday. Oh, okay. So they don't want to go toe-to-toe with the NBA game. Okay. Thanks for that, the People's Eyebrow. All right, coming up next, we will continue to tee up Game 3 between the Oilers and Florida Panthers. We'll also talk some NBA playoffs, some Elks, and anything else you guys would love to talk about here on EST Afternoons. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. And like always, EST is part of Edmonton Sports Talk, which is presented by Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. We're back with more Oilers Panthers on the other side of the break. Here's Coop, Sports Update.
Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final goes from Sunrise, Florida. Oilers, Panthers tied 1-1 in the series, and Edmonton's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a game-time decision. Jeff Skinner is the expected man up, while the Cats put AJ Greer back in the lineup. Jesper Boquist taking a seat. Swing by Boston Pizza Westgate for the action. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas get you set during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Coverage starts at 5 only on EST. And out in Saskatchewan, the Riders have signed running back Kadeem Carey after he rushed for over 1,000 yards, recording 7 touchdowns in 18 games for the Argos last season. Elsewhere, Ottawa's Drew Brown did not take first-team practice reps today. He's not been rolled out for Friday's game yet against the Alouettes. In NBA news, Darius Garland of the Cavs is undergoing surgery to repair his left big toe. He's expected to be out 4 to 5 months. In the majors, the Jays and Cards open their 3-game series. Jose Barrios gets the ball for Toronto. Andre Palante, the start for St. Louis. First pitch goes at 5:45. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. More Game 3 preview brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish. You're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into Banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
It's 1:26. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out Tap 25 Restaurant, 50% off entire menu. Available 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox. Hey, before we get back to the old, you finally watched Gran Turismo.
Yes.
Big fan, eh?
Great show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. It's got a lot of good feels in it.
Yeah.
The one thing is, it was funny watching the father and mad at his son for, not leaving his room. His dad played for the Cardiff Eagles or whatever back in the day, I guess.
Yeah.
So a good message to parents out there. It's a different world, definitely a different world than I grew up in. But sometimes you gotta find out what the passions of your kids are, and even if you don't agree with them, you have to support them in any way you can. That's
now playing video games is a career for many. Seriously,
I know.
Yeah,
it's no different. Really, when you get into those types of EA games or even whatever Call of Duties, things like that.
Yeah.
There's hockey's the same way. There's thousands and thousands of young hockey players all across the world competing to try to
look at Benny, who's ranked top 5 in Chelsea. Yeah. So we can make a movie about him.
Well, I hope we can. I can't wait for my directorial debut.
Do you imagine from top 5 HL player to his own show?
That would be great.
That's the story of Benny.
What an arc.
Benny Goods.
What an arc.
No,
it was great. It was a great movie, man. I suggest if you want to watch it, even if you're not really kind of into racing,
you don't have to.
You don't have to be at all.
No,
at all. It's a really, really good movie.
I don't think you have to be to enjoy Gran Turismo. And I'm going to give you 10 seconds starting now because I'm going to talk about a part of the movie. And if you haven't watched it, I don't want to ruin it. Well, so you got about 5 seconds left.
To press mute.
Earmuffs.
And while you're pressing mute, hit the thumbs up.
Just for a bit. I'm going to wait till it hits 10 and okay. Like this guy finished third in Le Mans, which is like one of the most, if not the most grueling race, a 24-hour race.
Yeah.
With 3 drivers, you rotate. Each driver can't be in the car more than 14 hours.
Yeah.
And then their team was all simulator drivers.
All simulator drivers.
And they finished third in Le Mans. You know how hard that is to do?
Unreal. Yeah, he said, let's go build it. What was it? Build a legacy?
Yeah.
Or become immortal or whatever.
Become immortal.
Yeah.
Some Kenny G.
And Enya.
Yeah. And now he races professionally, but he's just in a different circuit out in Europe, but he's still doing it. I looked him up and he's still racing there. Different kind of cars, obviously, but to make a career out of it, and he was learning on his video game.
Crazy.
And
I didn't know how in depth Gran Turismo, the actual video game, was.
Well, you build your car.
Well, but there's one part in the movie where he was let's face it, the engineers didn't want sim driver. Are you kidding me? A video game player, a gamer is not going to be able to do this in the car, but actually knowing on the track, feeling the car. Really, and in real life instead of the video game, but he knew what was wrong with the car just from how it felt or how it reacted. Yeah, right? It's crazy.
And then he'd go back to his video game, because he knew the track. Yeah, he's like, I've done this track a million times. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so crazy, man. It's crazy.
Awesome, great show.
We're too old to get into it because I think we would have became F1 drivers.
Oh yeah, we'd be in Monaco. Me and you'd have our penthouses in Monaco, right?
Oh boy, I think we're a little too tall to be in.
I think
you have to be a small little dude.
Yeah,
that's why it's different, and I think a little bit different NASCAR and Indies. The guys look a little bit bigger, but I don't know.
How tall is George Russell? He's like 6 feet, isn't he?
Is he? He's probably one of the taller guys.
Yeah, but he's like $160 probably.
Yeah, and they're just really tiny dudes, right? All right. Would you guys like to hear from Evander Kane? Are we good, Coop? All right. This is Evander Kane meeting with the media earlier today ahead of Game 3.
How much does that help? It's like deja vu coming back here.
Yeah, first time for me, obviously, this year. We're familiar with the setup and how things work, obviously, being here last year. So, makes it a little bit more convenient.
What would you say about the battle in the creases to this point? We've seen Bennett with a few bumps there on Skinner. How do you guys feel you've done getting to their guy? What's that battle and the battle been like?
Yeah, it's been a battle of both nets. obviously you don't like when guys are purposely falling into your goaltender. That's never good, and you hope that gets noticed. But I think both teams, and we're making it a point to go hard and go even harder as the series goes on to their net.
Might be handled different in a regular season, though. Fair to say, like it's not a situation where you can just go and somebody bumps your goalie.
Yeah, you can't go out and take a 5 or 2 5 and a 10 here, right? In the first period, so that wouldn't help anybody. But there's other ways to handle it, and staying aggressive, and like I said, going hard to their net as well.
Coaches would say that they're a little confused when they're trying to make a goalie interference challenge. They're not always sure. As a player on the ice, are you always sure what's allowed around goalies anymore?
No. I learned that lesson probably once they started kind of cracking down on that rule a long time ago. So, I think we've seen a lot of calls go different ways, and it's hard to kind of determine. You like to think there's some obvious ones, but every now and again you get surprised sometimes.
What's been the key to the success on the road for you guys this year?
Well, I think we play the same way for the most part. I think we're not deterred by hostile environments or tough places to play. I think we want to take the game to the other team, and that hasn't really changed in the playoffs. And we also know in order to win in the playoffs, you have to be able to win on the road, and that's really important. And we've done a good job of that thus far. And we've put ourselves in a position where we're going to have to do that now.
You guys don't seem to thrive in hostile environments, like particularly, like the hostile in LA and Vegas and, Dallas. Is it just it brings out energy? Like, even if it's negative towards you guys, does that still give you energy?
Yeah, I think, I'm sure they were probably saying the same thing. I think they were probably in Edmonton, the whole city's against them, and, they want to come out and ruin your night. And, we're looking to ruin Florida's night tonight.
If Nuge can't go today, I guess, how does that change the dynamic?
I have no idea. I'm not going to give you anything there.
Evander, just a question about Ivan Bouchard. Where have you seen the biggest growth in his game in the last this season, especially maybe when you were on the outside looking in and watching him play?
Yeah, I think Bouch is a guy that his intensity, his defensive detail has gotten better and more consistent, and throughout the rest of the playoffs, he's elevated that, and he gets a lot of opportunity. He plays in a lot of big situations, and we're going to need him to continue to be a good player for us.
That was Evander Kane meeting with the media earlier today. Look for him to be a big part of Game 3. He's been a huge addition here to these playoffs, kind of surprising everybody with how good he's been after not playing hockey since last June, early June, because he played in the first few games, I think, and then was sat out in the final 3 or 4 games there. But interesting, the Bouchard question. I think some guys answered it yesterday too. They're like, yeah, he's just really chill. Sometimes a little too much, but he's gotten a lot better at that. Did you see that clip when McDavid was asked by a reporter about his assist the other night? And like, if a kid wanted to ask, how do you do that? And then he was kind of McDavid was kind of like, I don't really know how to answer that. And Draisaitl jumped in. He goes, you can't teach that. He's like, you can't teach that. And everybody started laughing. He's like, and it's true though. That's just natural ability, man.
Feel of the game. Just and to do it against the players that he did do it.
Well, I think Ekblad even games. He's like, yeah, it's big Jesus, man. What do you want me to do?
What do you I mean, he danced 2 of the best defenders in the game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey, we stalled on the thumbs. Don't stall. Just slam that thumbs up. Only 68. We should be at 100 by the time we get out of this first hour. Probably over 100. Let's go. Let's do it for the Oil tonight as they look for a 2-1 series lead. And again, if they drop the game tonight, don't get into panic mode. It's I can see a split very easily in this one. And then it's a best of 3 with the Oilers having home ice advantage. There's a question here for you, Gager. EMG says, Gager, how would you want your defense best defending the crease but not impeding your view?
Well, when you want your defenders to essentially block out early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recognize, okay, puck's going back. Where's the guys are probably coming to the front of the net? The guy coming to the net quicker or just try to impede his path so you can kind of let your goaltender see it. But you can't always do that because you'll get called for a penalty, right? So it's a little bit easier for guys to get to the front of the net. When it comes to the actual front, you can't clear a guy. Like I hated when my D-men started getting tied up with the guy in front, and I almost liked it better if they just fronted them a little bit, like played in front of them, like knew where they were, and on the side of their stick where when they could see the shot come, they knew which side it was, and at least they were able to then eliminate a stick from that point. But when two guys get battling, the shot comes, he's still battling, and it just seemed like guys would get taken out of the play. I always said, stay loose, stay loose. That was the phrase I used for guys. Okay, recognize where it is. I know where my guy is. All I have, and have the faith in me to find the puck, stop it. But if there is a rebound, give me a second to find it and cover it up. Whereas all I want you to do is control the guy's stick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question, right? Because everybody thinks is just clear them out, and it's not that easy, right? Like,
hey, guys are strong, fast. It's very hard, but you want to put that's what the real smart guys do, right? They almost, not that they allow them to get to the front, but then they front them, play in front of them, and then if the shot does come, they can't do anything because they have full control of their stick, right? They see the game a few steps ahead.
Yeah, because listen, it's not a knock, but Bouchard ain't moving a lot of guys in front of him.
No,
but he can still be effective.
Oh, he can definitely be effective. And I mean, you don't have to bowl a guy over, but just impede his path when they're coming to the front, right?
100%.
Initiate that contact.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good question from EMG. Yeah. And again, if you missed it, RNH, a game time decision. If he can't go, it's Jeff Skinner probably. He went hard today in the morning skate, got a good sweat in, so he's got to wait as well. Both guys will take the warm-ups, and we'll see how he feels. We don't know if it's upper or lower body that's bugging him right now, or if he's just sick. Like, we don't know. He didn't skate yesterday, so we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, of course, a big part of this team. Not only 5-on-5, the power play.
Power play, penalty kill.
Who jumps on the power play?
In that spot, I would say it's probably Kane, right?
Or Arvidsson. They've used him a lot.
Oh, it's a right shot, too. Yeah. I don't... Would it be Skinner? I mean, there's no shortage of guys that
can play there.
That have scored successfully in the league. So that's not an issue. It's just proper timing. A lot of times when guys get the bump up to that power play, it's like, oh, I got to get the puck to Connor and Leon, right? Be a little. It's okay to be a little selfish in those situations too. Like you want to act like you've been there before with that. Don't always defer. But there's two guys that I think can make a difference in Kane, Arvidsson, Skinner. They've all played power play before.
Yeah, I have no issues with either of them.
No,
and you might see a rotation. Like, say Arvidsson goes first, it doesn't work. Okay, Kane, you're up next. Let's see what you got. You know what I mean? So, interesting question. Who would you have there if Nuge can't go on the power play because he's on an enormous part of that 5-man unit? Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Make your birthday legendary at the CBH. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can't beat. Plus, get free nachos with our app. Book your party now. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. Up next, we're going to shift gears just a little bit. We're going to recap the Green and Gold's 31 to, I have it right here. I can't even remember the score.
31-14.
14 loss in their season opener to BC. Snoop Dogg there. Heard the language was pretty bad. He didn't hold back.
I watched a bit of it.
What song did he open up with?
Oh, I don't even. Good question. I don't even, because they didn't show it. They showed parts.
Oh, yeah.
They just showed it.
But there's a Vancouver radio guy, and he was at the game, and he takes a video. He's in the stands at Snoop Dogg, and then he pans to like his section. It's all like 60, 70-year-old people, and they're all just like. So it was pretty funny to see that. But he said it was a great show. It just, the language was...
Isn't Snoop 60?
He's pretty old.
Yeah, they should be.
And it's funny because the one clip they show of him singing, and the song's called California Girl or something like that. I'm like, why would you show that? Like, you're in BC. Like, it was
I don't
weird
know.
to me. Anyways, we'll get to all of that. And, of course, continue to tee up Oilers, Florida Panthers, NBA playoffs. Another, it wasn't a great game, but OKC took over that one. Never looked back. 1-1 heading to Indiana. And I'll continue to take your text on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. And on the Nasty Chat, slam that thumbs up. We're back after the break. Here's Coop.
Edmonton hits the ice in South Florida. The series notched at 1 apiece against the Panthers entering Game 3. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a game-time decision, missing skate yesterday while having practice this morning. Jeff Skinner is on standby, while for Florida, Jesper Boquist takes a seat in favor of A.J. Greer. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, they get you set for the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from Boston Pizza Westgate. Coverage starting at 5 only on EST. And CFL News sees Kadeem Carey signing with the Riders. Carey played for the Argos last season, having over 1,000 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns through 18 games played. In the association, Cleveland's Darius Garland has undergone foot surgery to repair a big toe injury on his left foot. He's out 4 to 5 months. MLB action has 9 games, including the Jays facing the Cardinals. That one gets going at 5:45. Jose Barrios takes them out for Toronto. Andre Palante for the Cards. Elsewhere, Dodgers battle the Padres. Milwaukee plays Atlanta, while the Phillies match up with the Cubs. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. EST Afternoons returns on the other side of the break.
The EST Hangout.
Where is everyone feeling going into Game 3? I don't think any Oiler fan should be feeling down in any way, shape, or form.
Well, it's hard to be down when it's a 1-1 series. And I know that the Panthers have showed up and taken over certain periods, had that long stretches of momentum where they just dogged on the Oilers. Each team is so good that it just comes down to those smaller mistakes.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
It's all good, man. 146. Welcome back to EST Afternoons from the William Huff Studios. How you doing out there? How you feeling for the game? Did you enjoy the weekend off from stress from the good old playoffs, finals with your Edmonton Oilers? I'm sure it was a stress-free weekend, just relaxing. Everybody getting over that loss on Friday. Some took it harder than others.
Yeah, it was hard in the Nasty Chat.
Oh,
my gosh.
Yeah, but it's the same old negative now.
It's funny because none of that would have. It's OT. Like,
well, they can't wait to come on to say "I told you so" after a loss, you know.
Right.
So it's like, go away.
So certain players, whoever they've been talking about, excuse me, they They could have been great for 5 games, and then something happens. Whatever.
Like this, both teams are great, man.
They are great. It's
like, I think if Florida gets Dallas, Florida's
rolling them.
If the Oilers got Carolina, they're rolling.
Yeah. So the best teams are there.
Yeah, exactly. This is what you want, man.
No, this is you want this. Is it unfortunate that Zach has the dislocated wrist? Of course, but you can't. You have to get to the finals with depth. We've been talking about depth for all playoffs long here. How deep the Oilers are, right? And the loss of one player, I know it can be detrimental depending on who it is, but it shouldn't be the sole reason that you lose a playoff series. You should be deep enough to beat other teams with the lack of one player.
No, I like, for fans, I get it. You're emotional right after the game. I get it. I understand that part. But what can you do? Let's get to inside the numbers for Play Alberta. Why limit your choices, Joaquin, when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. If you haven't done so, deposit $20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. The same goes for a $50 free sports bet using promo code EST Sports. Joaquin, the Edmonton Elks went into BC. They were up 7-3 at half. They were only down 3 after the third quarter. But sometimes you got to give credit, and Nathan Rourke was brilliant in the second half. There's some good for the Elks, some stuff they need to figure out for sure. But what did you make of their first game here in the regular season?
I was excited to watch, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
2 big Canadian quarterbacks going at it. And then seeing the goal line stand at the start, I'm like, okay, all right. And the first quarter looked like a first game of the year kind of thing. But then Rourke he was fantastic. Just picking apart the Elks D. Trey Ford left me wanting a lot more from him, I'll have to say.
Tough game.
Although it was, his ability, I think so many other people, I heard them say it during the broadcast, on shows, that Trey Ford does things that in a good way that most other QBs in the CFL can't do. But there's still a lot of things that he needs to refine his game and that there's the offensive line needs to protect a little bit better, and obviously the routes and getting the ball out of his hands is going to be huge. We talked off air about just the running game, right?
Yeah.
That has to be established. So there's a lot of things, and I know when we last talked, I thought that if they can go in and get this win and then really refine their game over they with the bye week and get ready to really put a stamp on the season. But now, just looking at that game, the amount of video that's going to be reviewed over the next 2 weeks, I think it'll help them. Like you learn from your mistakes, and there was a lot of mistakes in that game.
Yeah, Trey Ford, 18 of 27, 178 yards, 1 interception. He also ran for 54 yards. But I'll start here. I thought defensively, they were really good in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, they were making plays. They stuffed him on the goal line, and then they stuffed him for a turnover on downs. Now, Javon Cotoy dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone. I mean, that could have went for 7 easily, but the Elks gave up 3 points in the first half. I think that's really, really good. And I think there's something there with this defense. I think as they play more and more together, it's going to be a lot better. I did like how aggressive they were on second down. But in the second half, I thought BC adjusted well, knew what was coming, and was finding the quick routes. You saw Rourke kind of go on 2 Trey Ford-esque runs off the bull rush from the Edmonton Elks. So I didn't mind J.C. Sherritt's game plan. I didn't. I just think in the second half, if you're doing it every second down, the teams are too good, have too much film and quality that you can't do it all the time. And I think it burnt them a few times there in that second half.
What was that interception, though? Who was that to?
It was, So when you're looking at it, I thought Suits kind of said it correctly, where like, because Curly, it looked like, just to explain it, I don't know what Curly's route was, but Curly, it seemed like he was running a 20-yard route, and the pass was a 10-yard pass, right? Because there was the guy that intercepted it, and then there was two other defenders right behind him. Do you know what I mean? So obviously it was a miscommunication, wrong route. I'm assuming, I don't know, right? Because Curly was the closest guy, but he had 3 lines in between them. So
it just, there was no one that, like, watching it. I was like, who's there? Like, who's he trying to put that to?
And that was a tough one. Like that
killed them.
That killed them for sure. So definitely have to improve there. Special teams, I thought the return game was really good. You can see Mark Killam's hand, because this is the first time the Elks have had a good return game in a long time. Arkell Smith had a big return. Who was the other one that had another big return? Javon Lee. He got one call back again. Two years in a row on the opening game, Javon Lee gets a return call back.
Yeah, that one right after the touchdown, too. He had a good one to respond, which I thought was good, but then it was...
And then I thought they covered well, so that's a bonus. But the kicking, I feel for Vincent Blanchard. I got to know him a little bit last year in training camp. Quiet guy. I mean, it's obvious it's between the years. He's lacking confidence, misses 2 field goals, misses an extra point, almost makes the other extra point, just got it. Just got it in, right?
Yeah.
So you feel for him, man. I mean, it's not an easy situation. It's tough. It's 7 points, Joaquin.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm intrigued to see what Ed does here. And I'm not saying give up on him and boot him to the moon. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you might have to bring someone in here.
You give him one more game?
I think so.
Yeah.
I truly do. And that's what Mark Killam said after the game on the TV side of things. They asked him about Vincent Blanchard. He goes, he just needs to keep playing. Like, it's tough first game for sure. Only has another game under his belt, but they didn't really let him kick in that one last game of the season. And then he says the same thing about Trey. Trey just needs to keep playing. And I think this is what's good about this coaching staff is Trey's going to have games like this. He's still young and he's still learning, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can't pull him. And in the previous regime, what would they do? They would just pull him and be like, hey, thanks.
Gracias.
You struggled in your first game, you're out. No, it's like, I want to see the bounce back. I want to see what he learned. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, like starting positions in those, they're similar to goaltending because they're a focal point, right?
Of course.
There's a lightning rod. But yeah, when you don't, with Trey Ford now, and you gave him keys to the house or keys to the car, essentially, you know? So you got to let him drive it.
Yeah.
You can't let him just back out of the driveway and say, no, that's it. Pull it back in, park it. We're not doing that. And that can help. Like I've had coaches in the past when I was struggling, they said, no, you're right back out there, right? Yeah. You're getting back out there and getting this under control. And you kind of, it forms a bond between the coaching staff and yourself. I think it's important. Obviously, Killam's going to most likely be here for a while, so the same as Trey Ford. So to have that type of relationship between head coach and quarterback, I think are important, that he has your back. And, you're on the other side of that, you want to show him the gratitude and that you've had the willingness or the confidence to put me back out there. I want to show you that I'm capable of it too. So.
And that's what I liked. And it's because Trey Ford now knows he has a coach that has his back.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, you're starting against Montreal, no questions asked. Start preparing. What did we do wrong? They'll watch the film with Jordan McSimic and with the receivers and with the whole O-line and their running backs. And they'll work on things. And I think that's key. And I think that gives Trey the confidence also to be like, hey, I can play well. I've shown it. And now I have to do it in week 3 against Montreal because these guys have my back. And he's going to want to. Yeah. Before, he was out. It was that simple. It was that quick. At times, it wasn't fair. But it's pro sports. And, they need to be better, especially offensively. But I think the support that he's getting is good. He's still fairly young. It's the first time he's been named the starter from day one. Yeah. It's a little bit different. And teams know, listen, Trey Ford is no secret anymore. Teams know what they're getting with him. His scramble ability is amazing. You saw it on that one pass when he ran like 20 yards back.
I know, yeah.
Circled around, found rank. Like, he is talented, guys. He sure is talented.
Just to throw that off the back foot and just zip it in there.
Yeah.
I did notice the arm strength of both guys. Like,
That run was 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, most people be lying down after that.
Because on the post-game show with Maddie and Jay, one person put in the message, he goes, okay, we're treating Trey Ford like Stuart Skinner. Like, it's one game. Like,
Yeah.
And listen, I understand the frustrations. It's been 4 bad years for the Edmonton Elks. I understand that. And I understand that you can't afford to be 0-2, 0-3 and all that. It's one game. There was some good. There was, guys. And this offense I believe is going to figure it out. I truly do. And it's just, I know you don't want to hear because everybody's impatient. They want wins now. And I get it. So, but Trey Ford's going to be the guy. And I'm glad he is. And I think they should, even if things go bad in week 3, not bad, but say they lose by 3 or whatever, you go back to him in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you're going to know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the offense. I said this when McSimic was hired. I think he's a brilliant offensive mind, but the one thing that concerned me was he goes away from the run.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have 10 rushes combined for Rankin and League. What the Elks did good last year, they averaged 130 rushing yards per game. And this offense, I think, needs that. You need that balance, especially with Trey's dual threat. And that's got to be double, at least 15 to 20 carries between these two guys. I know initially the run game wasn't working in the first half, but you can't go away from it. I understand going away from it if you're down big and you need to start throwing to get points and move the ball a little bit quicker. But it was a 3-point game going into the fourth. I would have loved to see more Rankin and Leak. We'll see if that changes for week 3 against Montreal. Receiving, Julian Grant, 2 receptions for 8 yards. Gittins 1 for 1, Dunbar 2 for 16. I think those 3 gentlemen have to get more involved.
Yeah.
No, it a lot of things goes into that, right? The protection wasn't very good. Trey was running a lot, breakdown plays, right? And sometimes you got to give credit to the other team. Maybe they were locking down these 3 guys.
Yeah, it's like there's 3 facets to that too, right? Like there's the receivers, the offensive line, and quarterback's recognition of getting the ball out too.
Exactly.
Right? So,
and also the defense.
Yeah.
Like if they're blanketing Dunbar Jr. and Gittins Jr., for example, you got to find a way to work around that. So I expect these 3 guys who are CFL vets and they're really, really good receivers to have a better game. Mathis, our good buddy, friend of the show, struggled a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a misplay, a couple offsides. Arkell Smith, I thought he had that 1 big catch, 1 big return, took a vicious hit as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad to, hopefully he's, at least from what I know, he's going to be okay. So it's good to hear he's one of the good guys. So yeah, the offense, I think many fans can say they want to see a little bit more, maybe a little bit more balance, and then get Brett Boyko back as well. Evans, a rookie, okay. I mean, but it's a tough situation for a rookie to go into. It's your first CFL game against a good BC Lions team. So that was the recap for the Edmonton Elks' first game, a 31-14 loss. Like I said, some good special teams outside of the kicking look solid. Trey Ford's scrambling ability remains elite.
I just
excellent.
watched that again. It's crazy what he did there.
Defensively, I think there's something there. I think this group can be really special. And our boy Slick Nick Anderson with 9 tackles on the night. No sacks, no INTs for the defense, but had a hard time getting off the field in the second half. But sometimes you got to give credit to the guy behind center because he was brilliant.
Yeah, no, he was really, really good. Do you think Trey can be as good as like is Rourke? Like the first thing I thought about after watching the majority of that second half, I did turn it off after a little bit when it felt out of reach, but I thought, Rourke's gonna win a mop this year,
probably, yeah.
And I was just looking at Trey and seeing some, the taking the bright spots. Do you think he could be as good as Rourke?
I think so, because in the 3 years the previous 3 years, we've seen he can make all the throws.
Yeah,
we've seen it.
Yeah,
right now it's a matter of doing it more consistently, right? So I think he can be, and his elusiveness, and that's why I think the run game is so important to any team, but specifically this one, because if you're a balanced attack with the run game with the 2 Thunder and Lightning you got in the backfield, and then the dual threat of Trey Ford,
it'll just keep everyone so off balance.
That's what I mean, right? But when you're just throwing and throwing and throwing, like and then Trey Ford took some big hits.
Yeah.
Like he did. And you don't want to see that, right? Because you want to keep him upright. You want to keep him healthy. So, hey, it's one game. I understand patience is not something Elks fans want right now. I understand you want to see wins, but this is a process. It's a brand new coaching staff, a lot of new players, and we might have to be just a little bit patient. I think they can turn it around. And a big game in 2 weeks because Montreal is no slouch. They're a hell of a team, so the Elks are going to have to be ready for that one. But I think it's great that the coaching staff believes in Trey. They said all the right things, and Trey was great in his postgame. Say, "Hey, we got to be better. I got to be better." So you just got to move forward. There's something special with his defense, and if they can sort out the kicking game, I think they'll be just fine. That was a recap of the Edmonton Elks for Play Alberta. That does it for hour one. We're still not at 100 thumbs. Makes me very sad. On game day,
it's because of the wind.
And someone took away a thumb. We were just at 87. Now we're at 86.
Really?
Yeah. Why are you mad,
Mom?
Bro? Why are you mad, bro? All right. In hour two, we'll continue to go around the world of sports. And, of course, the big story here in Edmonton. Game 3, Oilers, Panthers. It's Joaquin Gage. It's Zachary Kubich. It's Hernan Salas. We're back with hour 2 on EST afternoons after the break.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Get ready for pure adrenaline at Buck's Auto Parts Annihilation Night. Friday, June 13th at Red Torque Raceway. Witness an action-packed evening filled with crashing, smashing, and jaw-dropping stunts. From heart-pounding collision to cars dropped from towering cranes and a jet car burn. Celebrate an early Father's Day of outrageous entertainment at Buck's Auto Parts Annihilation Night. Friday, June 13th at Red Torque Raceway. Just west of Highway 2 and Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport. Tickets and info online at redraceway.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a game-time decision for the Oilers ahead of Game 3 against the Panthers. Jeff Skinner will be the man up to play if Nugent-Hopkins can't go. And on the other side, Florida takes Jesper Boquist out of the lineup to play A.J. Greer in his first Stanley Cup final appearance with the series tied 1-1. Join Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas. They get you set for the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at Boston Pizza Westgate. Coverage starting at 5 right here on EST. And CFL News has running back Kadeem Carey off to Saskatchewan. Carey had over 1,000 rushing yards with 7 touchdowns through 18 games with the Argos last season. In basketball, the Cavs will miss Darius Garland for up to 4 to 5 months, with the All-Star guard undergoing foot surgery on his left big toe. For the Jays, they open a 3-game series with the Cardinals from St. Louis. Jose Barrios gets the ball for Toronto. Andre Palante for the Cards. That one gets going at 5:45. 8 other games dot the slate, including the Mariners, Marlins, and Pirates with a date. The Angels and Athletics duking it out, while the Padres challenge the Dodgers. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Like this jam. Hour 2, EST Afternoons. How you doing? It's game day. Oilers Panthers, game 3. Series tied at 1. We just did the Elks recap. Don't lose faith, green and gold fans. Don't lose faith. Be loyal. Be loyal. They're going to figure it out. They're going to be much better against Montreal. Because, again, there was a lot of good in that game. Just what Nathan works on, there's not much he can do. So, he looked fantastic. You got to give credit to him. Congratulations to Buck Pierce on his first win. He got the Gatorade shower after the game as well. Snoop Dogg in the house. Great crowd. Love that the CFL's back. Can't wait. And we roll on into week 2. Of course, the Elks have a bye. I think they return. Players have to be back Saturday, I think they said. I think Coach Killam said that. So, and then they'll get back to work with day 1 on Sunday because the game is on a Thursday. All right. Hit us up, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Nasty chat, slam that thumbs up. We need to get to 150 on game day. We have to.
Yeah. We have to.
We have to. If you're listening, just slide on over. Of course, iHeart, tune in, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and hit that thumbs up. Let's get to the inbox. Joaquin, as in hour 2, we're going to kind of go all around, have some fun. This one says, I'd put Wallman in if Nuge can't go. Can handle the puck, shot, pass, and sees the ice really well. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
From Sheldon, not in a white garbage truck.
Especially with the giving up breakaways.
Yeah, that should never happen. V Power says, hey guys, if they say Nuge would be good for game 4, wouldn't it be better to hold him out of game 3 so that he doesn't become a hit target and potentially keep him out longer? Regardless of how tonight goes, game 4 is way important in my opinion. That's a good point as well.
What?
Like, just let him... Give him 3 more days of rest, and he's good for game 4. Because you can still win. I mean, listen, Nuge is important to this team. I get it. But the Oilers can still win this game without Nuge.
They should be able to.
Yeah. That's a really good take there, V-Power. Dan says, what about Rico in that power play slot?
Hey, it's a possibility. But I think Rico doesn't possess the shot of Jeff Skinner or Evander Kane. Evander Kane can beat goalies from distance. And there's not a lot of guys on the Oilers, not a lot of guys in the league that can do that on a consistent basis.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a good Wallman, because we've seen them go with 2 when someone's out with 2 defensemen, but I don't see it this time around. I think they're going to roll one of, now there's 4 options, because I do think Rico's an option. Kane, Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner. I think Wallman's a stretch.
Wallman comes out on the second unit.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
It's him and Ekholm? Was it him and Klimberg now?
Oh, it was Klimberg.
Yeah, I think.
It was.
Yeah. Which is good because Klimberg can pass.
And he's got an offensive mindset.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. Don't worry, Trey. Edmonton fans are very patient and understanding. Stu and Sunrise. That's a thing. I saw, usual suspects being hard on Trey. And he needs to grow, and he will. And he's got the backing of the team and his coaches. So I think it's a good thing. He will be better. He will be better. I believe in Trey.
Yeah. He's, like you said, it's time. And I know that's not what Elks fans want to hear, but there's something there. It's not.
It feels different. Like with the previous teams, you knew right away, this team might be in trouble. I didn't get that feeling because, again, a lot of new players, a whole new coaching staff. It's gonna and we've been saying it all off season. They won the off season, but it might take some time, and it usually does when you bring in that many changes and the new staff. So
you definitely could see the advantages of Nathan Rourke taking a full preseason.
Oh, yeah.
Or training camp preseason. Yeah, right?
You look good.
He looked, from what he did last year, though the first game he played, he wasn't too bad.
He wasn't too bad.
But then the next was...
And there was a divide in the room of who should play, and that all affects players.
I guess. Yeah.
And production and all that. So I'll tell you this, I was very excited for that game. And it was a good game up until the fourth when they kind of ran away with it and mistakes were made. But that's football, man. And just stick with it. And look forward to seeing them next Thursday. Dave in Section T says, what happened to Ivy at the end of the game? I thought he struggled, but after the interception, Cordy was moved to left tackle. The new left guard that came in for Cordy was not good. I think that change was Cordy to left tackle, and I think Grahovac came in at left guard. I don't know what happened to Ivy. Could have been something injury related or performance related. I really don't know. Dave in Section T. But yeah, the... Need Boyko back. Sounds like he's really close because he was a game time decision. But again, the O-line, a lot of veterans there. 3 of the 5 guys have been here for 3 years. So, and David Beard was here for one of those years. So I think they'll figure it out as well. So, Wadding Cloverdale, that was a good one.
Castor in 1990 has a good, like Klingberg, would he be a better option on PP1 now than Skinner or Wallman?
Yeah, well, that depends if Knobloch wants to go 3 forwards. So it'd be Perry, it'd be Leon, it'd be McDavid with Bush and then another defenseman. We saw him do that in the regular season when one of the big guys were out or someone on the power play was out, right? So, I mean, I'd be okay with it. I don't think it's going to happen. Klingberg's more of a disher. He can shoot the puck, but you have Bush for that.
Yeah, but Klingberg has not every player has the ability to sift it through and get it through legs, get it on net, right? That's a skill. Wonder.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting choices.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no shortage of choices for Knobber.
At least we're saying there's there's a one option. That's it. Like there's lots of things that they just have to have a good game.
Yeah. You gotta match. Well, I think they've done a good job matching the physicality of the Panthers.
They haven't been run out of the building.
No, like I said, both teams have had their moments in this series, and I think it's going to continue until we have a winner. I think both goalies have given up 8 goals in 2 games, but I think both goalies have been awesome.
Yeah,
I thought Forsling was a monster in game 2. Man, that guy's a good defenseman.
And Lundell
was fantastic.
Yeah,
Luosterainen. And I thought on the other side, I thought the Oilers had a lot of good performances. You still need more from that Rico line. Connor Brown's kind of drifted off a bit.
But he was sick too, right?
Yeah. You need to reel them back in. And Podkolzin and Arvidsson, you know what you're getting. You're going to get an honest effort, hard work.
But you just need you need them to play above their ceiling for a little bit.
And it's crazy because in overtime, Marchand had that one that slid under the pad, hit the post. Klingberg was there.
It was. Yeah, Klingberg almost put it in. Like you're almost like yeah, and so for Skinner, it's funny when you're in that position because he made a great save, unbelievable first save on it. But then your initial feel is I got to get up, and then he tries to get up, but then realizes if I stay down I'll be fine, and it just under the pad hits the post.
And how often do you see a guy like Sam Reinhart get a breakaway from center and miss the net?
Something's up with him. He's not right.
No, he's not right.
He's not right. I think his Charlie horse, he's banged up big time. So
I was like, and then he misses the net. I was like, and that's when I thought, okay, they've just missed 2 glorious chances. The Oilers are going to win.
Oh, you thought that? I thought that they were going to score for sure because the Oilers were, I thought, pressing a little bit harder. Sometimes, too much time to think about it too on a breakaway is not good for the player. But Skinner played that perfectly. When they showed the angle from behind, you saw what Reinhart was looking at, and as soon as he kind of, got up and lifted his head up, it was all Stuart Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't see a thing. So, great play by Stu.
Stewie, which goaltender is going to shine today? That's the big question. Hey, a little bit, not off topic, but the baby Canucks are going to the Calder Cup final.
Are they?
Our boy JJ Kyra scored the tying goal yesterday.
Come on.
Yeah.
Does Matty Malhotra coach that team?
Yeah.
Is he moving on up next year, or is he kind of the?
I mean, I don't even know who they're playing. To be
I
honest.
thought I saw his name referenced somewhere as a possible head coaching
potential coach for Vancouver. Have they? Oh, they have Adam Foote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would they be playing? The baby Canucks.
And I saw that Elias Pettersson is back in town training with
Oh, really?
Yeah, already. Isn't that weird? Like most guys are already a week into their summer training program.
That's crazy.
For next year?
That's insane.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing the Charlotte Checkers, the Canes, affiliate.
Oh, the Hurricane? Okay.
Yeah.
I played against the Charlotte Checkers way back when. It looks like they had checkers on there.
And I'll say this because, a friend of the show, Jeff Patterson, they're all covering the Abbotsford Canucks, and that barn was rocking last night. It looked sold out. People were going crazy. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, like to see that in the AHL.
Oh yeah,
the passion.
I think it's great that you have your AHL affiliate
right
close to your NHL team. I mean, what a luxury. The Flames, their AHL team's in Calgary too, right?
Yeah.
I don't see why the Edmonton Oilers can't have theirs here as well.
I'll ask you this: Do you think it would generate like people to come out?
Even if it's not, have it at the Silent Ice Center or something. Yeah. You know, like
because I think people here in Edmonton were so fascinated by the young guys.
I think there'd be a lot of interest in going to those games
because you get to see, let's say, Matt Savoy on a regular basis, right? You get to see whoever the hell you want to see on the.
I mean, you might be sucking some life out of the Oil Kings, I guess.
That's the thing, right? You got your junior team.
But they're all under the same umbrella.
But Calgary doesn't. They have the Hitmen,
I know,
the Wranglers.
I know. So if they're all under the same umbrella, have it. Yeah, and the Oilers are the big dogs, right? They're the big generator of revenue. But you offer packages to go see the Oil Kings and then the young Oil or whatever the Oilers. I guess they'd be the Condors. I don't know what you'd call them. Whatever it was. But I think there's something there. And I think it would be great. I always thought too that there would be something interesting to have double headers of some sort. So maybe you have the minor league affiliates of the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers playing at Rogers, and then the Flames and Oilers play later that night, right? Like not that the Oilers need help selling tickets, but no, I think it would be cool.
Well, what's the appetite? Let's ask our nasties.
Yeah.
River Korean Box 780-218-9999 or hit up the Nasty Chat. Would you have an appetite? Would you go to Condors games if they were regularly based in Edmonton? I think I'd go to a few.
I'd go to them for sure.
Like, look what the Vancouver Canucks media is doing. They're covering the Abbotsford Canucks.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Patterson does the Canucks postgame show. They're doing postgame shows for Abbotsford, which is kind of cool.
I think it would be, and just to see, for the real hardcore hockey fans when another team's coming in with a top prospect.
Oh yeah,
go check that out, and then they can come into the Nasty Chat or our text line and say the Oilers need to trade for this guy. I watched him the other day; he's fantastic.
You can go see Jesse Puljujarvi.
Puljujarvi, yeah, for sure.
And I'm just saying that because he is in the minors. I'm not taking a shot at him. I like Jesse. I think he's a good dude. Let us know if you have an appetite for some AHL hockey here in the City of Champs. It's 2:20 here on EST Afternoons. It's coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. Keep hammering that thumbs up. We're at 102, 48 away from our playoff game day minimum, which is 150. Let's get there. Coming up next, we'll continue to go around the world of sports and have some fun talking Oilers Panthers. And if there's an appetite for AHL hockey here in Edmonton. We're back after the break, but first up, our guy Coop, Sports Update. Oilers
Panthers clash for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final down in South Florida. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a game-time decision for Edmonton. Jeff Skinner to take his spot if he can't play. For the Panthers, Jesper Boquist is the odd man out with AJ Greer stepping into the lineup. Swing by. Boston Pizza Westgate, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas break down the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Watch or listen live at 5. Right here on EST. Elsewhere, the Riders have signed running back Kadeem Carey. He won the Grey Cup with the Argos last year, having over 1,000 rushing yards during the regular season. In baseball, Toronto visits St. Louis for a 3-game series. Jose Barrios gets the ball for the Jays in the opener, while Andre Palante is the man for the Cards. First pitch at 5:45. Other action sees the Rays meeting the Red Sox, Milwaukee hosting Atlanta, while the Dodgers face the Padres. And during tomorrow's action at the Canadian Shield Tournament, Kyle Laren will captain Team Canada for their game against the Ivory Coast. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc, they're the experts you need to know. More Game 3 preview follows up the commercial break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's 2:25. We roll along here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Keep it locked. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up from 3 to 5. I'm Tom Gazzola live from Boston Pizza Westgate for the pregame show, 5 to 6. Then we watch the game. Then we're back for postgame. Jolene Latimer, Matt Cassie, and myself will all be along for the ride on the pregame show. Only 107 thumbs up. That's very disappointing on an Oilers game day. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Stanley Cup game day, too.
I know.
Finals.
Terrible.
Final.
Finals.
Did you say finals or final?
Finals. Final.
Final.
Because it's all, yeah. Big Uke says, I'd go to a few for sure. Matt at the Garrison says, depends on the ticket price. I cannot afford Oiler tickets, so I'd probably go. John Carlos says, I'd rather watch that than the Oil Kings, honestly. Todd Peterson says, Abbotsford in a great situation. I could see a new practice facility. Hydro says, Katz probably prefers the concert revenue. 100% he does. And Caster 1990 says, if start times are at 6:30 or 7 and the price point is closer to Oil Kings than Oilers, I would go. Went to a couple of Edmonton Roadrunner games years ago and have a signed Jared Stoll Roadrunners puck. Well, that's interesting. I think if they did, you would need a new facility because Oil Kings, Oilers, all the concerts we get. Like, it's true. Daryl Cate's probably like, I don't want to take away concerts and put on AHL hockey. To be honest,
that many concerts that come here?
There's a lot hockey.
Is there?
Oh yeah. Maybe you could make it work, but yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. No, I know the two don't match, but I mean, even the Oil Kings are great, but it's too big a stadium for them.
Yeah.
You know, you got a few nights a year where they pack it. You know, they're specialty games. Those are great, but I don't see why you can't have those. So you have whatever. I know I'm mentioning the Silent Ice Center, but it's a gorgeous arena. You know, it's 5,000 or whatever, perfect size. You'd sell that out every night, you know, like that would be special. And then on the certain nights when it's a big deal, you move it to Rogers. But yeah. I understand.
Collingwood Rob says, what if the Oilers move their AHL team to Red Deer? A lot closer, maybe turn some Central Alberta Flame fans into Oiler fans. Waddy says, Jesse's on the Checkers heading to the Calder Cup final. No, I think, isn't he with Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not on the check. Is he on the Checkers?
They might be. It's Florida's team that they could be the dual affiliation.
Oh, some that could be it. That, yeah.
Right? So it could be both Carolina and Florida.
Well, this season it says that he was listed. Of course, he was with the Penguins. He played for Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, 4 games for them. And then he's played for the Charlotte Checkers 22 games, and he's played 12 playoff games for them. 8 points through 12 playoff games, 2 goals.
Good for him.
Only 5 games with the Panthers. He did score a goal when he did play for the Panthers during the regular season. But yeah, seems he's with the Checkers, boys.
Jesse can win a Calder Cup.
That's big, man.
Easy. Is it too late to renovate Rexall? And then John Carlo followed up. Condor should play at Rexall. That'd be awesome.
It would be.
Yeah.
But again, it's too big. It'd be a great spot for, well, even the Expo Center would be. You could put ice in there.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting.
I just, I find that a smaller venue sometimes helps.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So, yeah, the baby Canucks going for the Calder Cup championship. Some good news there for them after a terrible season.
So, do we know the Charlotte Checkers, who are they affiliated with?
Carolina.
Is it Carolina?
Pretty sure. Unless I'm jabroni and totally got that wrong. Oh, no. Yeah, I am wrong. They are the affiliate of the Florida Panthers.
Okay, yeah.
Oops. I thought they were the Canes, though, previously.
They probably were. Those things switch like crazy.
I am sorry for giving you misinformation. Yeah, they got Jesse. I'm just trying to see if I recognize players that have had some time with the... No, not really. It's probably the only guy I'd recognize.
Well, the jersey colors are very similar, right? So it's easy to try and, interpret it in that sense where it could be the Hurricanes as well.
Wait, they've only
17 games for the Hurricanes.
They've only played 12 games? So have they swept every series?
I remember the first round was best of 5.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it's still like that.
I guess we can look. Playoff bracket. Let's see. They don't play the first round.
There was a bye?
No, wait. Yeah, you don't play the first round because they probably were the second seed, so they got a first round bye. Yeah, then they beat Providence, then they beat Hershey, then they beat Laval.
How about those Abbotsford Canucks jerseys, huh? They got like the log rider.
Really?
Yeah. I like those. Well, that's interesting. That's frustrating because usually if your team is in the Stanley Cup Finals, your American League team is terrible. And to have two of their both their teams in the finals, that's I'll have to look up when that's happened before, because that's usually how it is. When your minor league team's really good, usually means your NHL team sucks.
Well, in fairness to the Condors, they missed the playoffs, I think, by 1 or 2 points. They had a ton of injuries.
Yeah,
They were signing guys.
When you look at their roster, like you have to hit the mouse wheel like 8 times.
Yeah.
So many people.
So they had some bad luck. They truly did. It didn't help that the Oilers were injured as hell towards the last 2 months, so they had to call up everybody. So yeah, that's usually the case, eh?
Usually is, man. It's kind of weird how it works that way. Not always, but usually there's a correlation between the two. Good for the Canucks, Yeah, but then usually those teams are just picked over like vultures to get just those, bottom 6 guys usually is what they are. Some top prospects, but those usually stay within the organization. So that's a tough trophy to win too, man.
Oh, yeah. I just want to see one last thing. Is their goalie the guy that played against the Oilers last year?
Artur Shilovs? Yes.
Yeah. Is he their guy? Oh, yeah.
Yes. And he got pretty furious one of the games. I remember seeing a clip where somebody kind of crashed his crease and he was getting all crazy. But no, he's an AHL superstar, man.
He has a what are the playoff totals here?
There used to be a great site for the American Hockey League. Obviously, I was more up to it when I was playing in it, but
I mean, this is pretty good right here. But 18 games played, 9.29 save percent. Good for him. He was really good against the Oilers last year.
He was awesome.
For a minute there, I thought he was going to steal that series.
Dude, it's so some of the broadcasts like Jamie McLennan, Marty Biron. I'm trying to think of another one on there that does it. But I remember playing against both those guys when they were in the American Hockey League, and it was so frustrating because they were so good, so good, and they go to and not that Noodles had a good NHL career. Biron was really solid as well, but you'd think that they'd play. I thought these guys are going to be all stars and light up the American League because they just torched the American League, but in the NHL, it's just a different beast, right?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But I mean, you played at the A. There's a lot of quality there, man.
It's a meat grinder, man. The pro game, you're traveling so much. 3 games, 3 nights.
Because you usually play on the weekends, right?
Yeah, because you want to get.
You rarely play during the week.
Barely play during the week. Yeah, it's all 3 and 3s.
I know there's some teams. I know every team in the AHL plays some Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but it's very rare.
You'll see they're sprinkled in there, of course.
So it's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Like I remember, that Sunday game. Most of the time, it's like at 2 or 6. So you've probably played in some city the night before.
Yeah,
you were on a bus, a plane, another bus. And to get to this thing, you're basically rolling in for game time. Equipment's still wet, and you're just hanging on for the first period for sure.
Well, from when you played, what would you say is the best city in the AHL from what you remember?
Oh, I gotta look.
Because I know the teams might have moved. They definitely moved. From back then. But what was your favorite city to roll through in wet gear?
I mean, I was in the Northeast Division when I first started. So it was us, St. John's, Fredericton, Cape Breton. So yeah, they were all little cities on the East Coast. Oh, PEI was in there. That was cool.
Yeah,
PEI was really neat.
This was with the Cape Breton Oilers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, those places that were all unique in a sense. But then you would go down to the States, and I guess my favorite, and I played there too. One of the best cities, and I don't think they're in the league anymore, but Portland, Maine, the Portland Pirates, fantastic little spot. Like I've said it before, it's all little cobblestone streets, kind of old. If you ever see that movie, The Perfect Storm, some of the Gloucester, Mass, or whatever, you see all the fishing boats down in the harbor, guys getting off and all talking funny, like, and you'd go and have a pint at a bar. Like you'd walk into a bar, and it was the length of the bar was 200 feet, or not 200. 100 feet, but the width is like 8. Yeah. Right. It's just one big bar, and everyone would sit on and watch games and stuff. But it was a lot of fun. Really, really cool little spot. Right on the water, too. Right?
You never fly in the AHL, right?
You do.
You do.
But back then we would fly, and then we'd bus from there. Like the schedule would be, okay, you're going to play here, but you're going to play all those teams around there. So then you'd bus around, right?
Well, I guess in this finals, Charlotte and Abbotsford, you're going to have to fly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This series is going to take 3 months.
I'm going to see what the flight time is. Charlotte to Abbotsford.
Hershey was a cool place. I mean, there's nothing there except for the Hershey factory where they make all the chocolate. So
is that why it's called Hershey's?
Yeah, it's Hershey, Pennsylvania.
No, I actually didn't know.
Yeah. I remember, we played them in the Calder Cup final one year. But it's hard because the whole city smells like chocolate. And it's not really a city. It's nothing there. And then we went to the factory. Yeah. I told you this. And we walked in, and Mankind was there.
Yeah. Mick Foley. Okay, Charlotte, USA to Abbotsford, BC says 7 hours and 48 minutes. That's not right. That's probably with connecting. It says Charlotte to Abbotsford is 4 hours and 51 minutes. Oh. That's quite a flight, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
What would you do on those flights? Like just sleep, read?
I slept.
I always, with the Elks, when we were going out east, I'd bring my book, read for a bit, and then I had my shows downloaded. Or then just fall asleep with some music. I barely sleep on planes though, because I'm terrified of flying.
Like I wonder what these guys do in between games.
And then the meal, of course, you take.
You
eat some grub.
Yeah. I mean, so my last year in the NHL was 2001, right? So really, there was DVD players. They just became affordable. Right, because when they first came out, they were like $18,000 for a DVD player. So I remember Dan Cleary and we had the dual jacks. We would watch a movie, and it was so high tech, right? And so
now you just download it on your phone.
Now it's we didn't have I guess I retired around 2006, right? And that's when the first iPhone came out. And I remember I was in an après ski in Italy, and a guy came up to me with his iPhone and had my fight on YouTube on it. And I thought I was blown away.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yep, and on the short flights, I just sit there just wanting to land.
Vancouver.
I'd love to see you and Sean Brown on a plane together.
Vancouver, Regina, Winnipeg. And Winnipeg was like, I don't know, every time we landed and took off there, it was a lot of motion on that plane, man.
So from Cape Breton to get to St. John's in Newfoundland, you flew, right?
Yeah.
And so we flew most of the time. We did but little puddle jumpers.
Yeah.
And you would go nuts because the turbulence on these things, like it felt like you dropped like 80 feet at times.
So last year in the preseason, we went to BC and we had to go on a smaller plane and we had to send our equipment via transport because it couldn't take the weight. So everybody was 3 to a row and like a very small plane. And I remember we're going to start our descent, and then the plane made this weird noise. And I remember Dave Campbell and I looked at each other, and he goes, "Should I call my wife?" And I was like, "Holy crap!" And then it did the same noise coming back. but it was just like a quick little.
Oh.
And so from what I was told from people that were on the plane, and they were like, it was like a suction of the door. Like it does it on those planes.
Really?
Yeah, like when you're dropping. And I was like, hey, but that doesn't sound safe. And me and Dave Cowan were probably the only ones like this, and everybody else is just sleeping. I'm like, why is everybody so relaxed, man? I was ready to like cry. And I couldn't wait to get home from that plane. Like I was terrified. Because you're on a small plane, you're with everybody's over 6 feet, most 200 pounds. Right? Like I was like, man.
Well, if it's like, what was that called? What's that plane crash called in the Andes?
Alive,
yeah. At least there's lots to eat.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, wow. I didn't see that. Went dark.
Hey, silver lining.
Yeah, I guess.
You're not down with a little cannibalism?
And for a guy that's terrified of flying, so last night I was going through Prime, and there's a series called Mayday, something like. It's about every plane crash, and it's like
that's
every
a good
episode.
one to watch.
I know. I was like, why am I watching this? I'm like freaked out now. But like and you get the real audio and what happened. And
the black box.
So the one I saw yesterday was pilot error.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was like, why am I watching this crap? Hey, the afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the kitchen restaurant. Did you know Sundays and Mondays, it's 50% off the entire menu. 5 p.m. to close. All right, coming up next, we'll close out the show and get you ready. We'll get some predictions for the big game tonight between the Oilers and Panthers, and it's Reed Wilkins, J Milne coming to you from 3 to 5, and then the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola live from Boston Pizza Westgate as we get you set here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're back after the break here on EST Afternoons.
Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final goes from Sunrise. Oilers, Panthers tied at 1 apiece in the series. Edmonton's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a game-time decision. Jeff Skinner is the expected man up, while the Cats put A.J. Greer back into the lineup. Jesper Boquist taking a seat. Swing by the Boston Pizza Westgate for the action. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, teeing up the game with coverage starting at 5 right here on EST. And out in Saskatchewan, the Riders have signed running back Kadeem Carey. He rushed for over 1,000 yards, recording 7 touchdowns in 18 games for the Argos last season. NBA news sees Darius Garland of the Cavs undergoing surgery to repair his left big toe. He's expected to be out 4 to 6 months. In the majors, the Jays and Cards open their 3-game series. Jose Barrios gets the ball for Toronto. Andre Palante, the start for St. Louis. First pitch at 5:45. In soccer, Kyle Larin will serve as Canada's captain tomorrow against the Ivory Coast. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update. EST Afternoons returns on the other side of the break.
Reed Wilkins Show with J Milne.
A guy I really had no expectations for when they got him off waivers. Kapanen's doing his job, and this is what we talked about with Knobloch. He's not telling Kasperi Kapanen to go out there and be Zach Hyman. No, just be yourself, and there'll be a spot for you.
It's amazing to see that, though, Reed. That one game, when he was called upon, turned him into a person contributing to a team that's 3 wins away from winning a Stanley Cup.
The Reed Wilkins Show with J Milne, weekday afternoon, 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
102.46 final segment here on this sunny and windy Monday on game day, game 3. Oilers and Panthers from Florida. Nugent-Hopkins, a game time decision. If you can't go, expect Jeff Skinner to draw in. They had Bouchard with Nurse, Wallman with Kulak, Ekholm with Klimberg. Is it just a Fugazi from Chris Knobloch? Fugazi? Is it a smoke screen? We'll wait and see. And if Nuge can't go, we'll see what the lines are about 5:40-ish, maybe 5:35 when they hit the ice. For warm-up, Stuart Skinner returns to the pipes. Why wouldn't he? It was just one game. It's going to be another fun one. Gager, did you know that the winner of Game 3 in the Stanley Cup Finals, when it's a best of 7, the winner of Game 3 holds an all-time series record of 23-7.
Ooh.
So what that means is
nothing.
Today's game is huge.
It is big. It's a big one.
Yeah.
You win the odd ones, you're going to win, right? But no, I think Florida did what they had to do. They came up with the split, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrestled the home ice back. Now it's up to Edmonton to respond.
Yeah,
and they have better. This is why I say, after going over that game, I thought that Florida was the better team overall. These are real fine margins, of course, but the Oilers kind of shot themselves in the foot. You can't. We talked about Maurice saying there's no BS with these teams. There was I said this before. There was BS in the Oilers game. The recognition, the certain parts where they just weren't as sharp as they have been.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's going to happen. This is, but I think the fact that there's so much time in between these games, if the Oilers were a younger team, I don't think I would like it as much, but because they're more mature and have gone through this before, I think that the ability to process some of that information from the games, they're better suited to handle it, and they're not gonna game 2 is in the rearview mirror. They're not even thinking about that anymore, right? It's nothing. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that anymore at this point. All you can do is look forward to the drop of the puck in the first period here and go from there. And I think, they're going to have to be at their best because Florida they're an evil team. They take your will and your spirit away, and they're for the first time, and I think this is why we've been so. Talking about the Edmonton Oilers in a glowing light is they seem to not be fazed by that part.
No. And Florida gets AJ Greer back. Jesper Boqvist comes out. These games are going to be tight. They're going to be a battle. It's going to get ugly at times, and both teams are going to go up and down. Momentum's going to swing like crazy. Special teams. A lot of penalties last game. Will they put the whistles away in this one? Who knows? So that's why it's so exciting. Both goaltenders have been really good. If they can continue that, this is probably going to go 6 or 7 here. So it's a big game tonight. It's a big one. Mailman Dennis says, hey guys, don't let anyone fool you into believing AHL hockey would fly here. This used to be a good sports town. It's not anymore. It's a great Oilers town and a great event town. But ask the Old Kings, the Rush, every soccer club that falls on its face here, even the Stingers. Maybe ask the Elks if this is a good sports town. Maybe the Oilers put something in the water. Maybe they took everyone's money and there's nothing left.
Well,
I think you're right. I think it is an Oilers town more than a sports.
Hey, you got to remember that Edmonton Sports Talk wasn't around at that point, too, right? I think there's something to it a little bit.
Yeah, there is. People go to Riverhawks and Stingers, and they really, in the sense where, but there's not that passion yet. Do you know what I mean? For the smaller teams in the city. I don't speak for everyone, but you're not going to compare it to the passion of the Oilers, and even for the remaining green and gold fans, there's a different kind of passion.
Yeah,
because they've been around longer, which makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the saying with the Riverhawks? You go to the game, sometimes you don't even know the score because you're just there for the good time and watching ball.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there is people that probably go there and want to see them win and do well and live and die with every pitch and hit. Same with the Stingers, right?
And I think the other thing too is there's a lot of there is a lot of competition too, right? It's not just the Oilers, but when you go down the list of things, like I could go to the rec center by my house and watch a U17 hockey game, and it's really good, you know. And I just walked in and watched. It's like that's the type of stuff you're going up against, but
it's true. It's the Oilers than everybody else.
But this is the thing. Like the Oilers I think they could do a much better job in the city by affiliating themselves with other teams or other organizations within the city of Edmonton that maybe it giving a little back at times, you know?
Back in the day when I was growing up in the early 90s, the Oilers and Eskimos were tied.
Yeah.
And they would do cross promotion, they would do shoots together. But now it's just like I said, there's a big gap now, and the Oilers are there.
Well, that was one of the reasons the Rush left, right? Because they I don't think management wanted them in their building, which was frustrating. But you know, I don't know.
Because one day, and hopefully it's not for a long, long, long time, the Oilers are going to be struggling again. Yeah. Right?
It's the circle of life.
It's the circle of life, and that's when people are going to be like, oh, remember when you were good and you didn't want to do anything with us? You know what I mean? So that's the thing, though. I wish there was more cross-promotion. And I say the Oilers because it's the biggest game here. They have generational talent on the team. Yeah, maybe they don't want to do it. Sure, I understand that it's a long season. They don't want to commit to weekends or doing a shoot on like, I get it. I understand it. But it should be a part of it, because if the Oilers are in a shoot with the Elks and then the Stingers, and do you know what I mean? Like, it just grows all the brands, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then you can really, the moniker of City of Champions can really be solidified out there.
Like, let's say the Elks have success this year, and it's Trey Ford, and it's Connor McDavid, and it's the Stingers' best player, and the Riverhawks' best player, the All Kings' best player. And all you have to do is take a picture.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's all you're asking for here. It's not a lot. Gager, did you know on this day, 25 years ago today, the Edmonton Oilers named Kevin Lowe as their new GM, replacing Glenn Sather?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're old enough to remember that.
No, I remember. Yeah.
Today's birthday's good Canadian, Michael J. Fox.
Oh, great.
And Johnny Depp.
The Depps, they're born on the same day.
Hey, man.
Wow.
How about that talent?
That's special. I like Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street. You ever watch that?
21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp?
He was in 21 Jump Street?
The TV show.
Oh.
You guys, come on.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
It's great.
He's
Richard
good
Grieco?
He's good in Pirates of the Caribbean.
He's not bad in that.
He's great in Donnie Brasco. Hey?
Yeah, Donnie Brasco's really good. Oh, he's I like him in, what's that, Rango, the cartoon?
Yeah, that's a good
really
one with the chameleon or
yeah,
the lizard.
Never heard of that one.
Great voice acting. Cars also came out 19 years ago today.
Jeez.
The very first Cars movie.
Classic.
Really?
Instant classic.
Penner's Pancakes. Johnny Depp got his start in the first Nightmare on Elm Street and had a very bloody demise.
Oh, did he?
I don't remember that.
I think I do too. Yeah, it was great. Jump Street was great because it was filmed in Vancouver, and it was all the high schools that like these guys looked 40 and they were undercover in high schools. God, what a great show.
It's great.
Troll says, I'm surprised Charlotte didn't get the NHL instead of Raleigh. Yeah, me too, in a sense. Charlotte's a big center.
Hey, Jen says it's Hyman's birthday today too.
Is it really?
Is that right?
Yes, it
Zach
is.
Hyman. Well, happy birthday, Zach Hyman.
One of the good guys.
So if this like I said this on the thing, if we get a few more overtimes, will Hyman be ready by Game 7?
Probably. Jeez. We got to get out here. The afternoon inbox, like always, presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Happy hour. 525 drinks, Gager.
My.
Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Holy smokes.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
We got to go one day for happy hour. All right, coming up next, Reed Wilkins, J Milne will take you right up until 5. And then Tom Gazzola has you for an hour from 5 to 6 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. As we get you set for game 3. Prediction real quick?
No.
Okay. We're not doing predictions. It's going to be a tough battle. We hope the Oilers come out victorious. We'll talk to you later. For Zach, for Joaquin, I'm Salas. Thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Ciao.